Hey everyone, and welcome to RCM Mastery. Have you ever just looked at a claim denial and wondered how things get so complicated? Well, a huge piece of that puzzle comes down to one critical change in how we code diagnoses. Today, we're going to dive deep into the differences between ICD-9 and ICD-10.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the story of why we even needed to change code sets. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the structural differences and the powerful new clinical details that ICD-10 brought to the table. And most importantly, we'll connect all of that back to what it means for your AR team. Oh, and you'll definitely want to stick around till the end, because I've got a pro tip that'll help you crush your next interview.
All right, let's get right into it. So, why the big switch from ICD-9 to ICD-10? You can think of ICD-9 like an old flip phone. Yeah, it worked fine for its time, but it just couldn't keep up with the demands of modern medicine. It was running out of room, and we desperately needed a system that could capture way more detail.
And to really understand the why behind the change, you just have to ask this one question. What's the single biggest reason that insurance claims get denied? I'm sure you know it. It almost always comes down to one little word: specificity. Or more often, a lack of it. And that problem, that lack of specificity, is exactly what ICD-10 was designed to solve. So let's take a look at how it does that, starting with the most obvious changes, the structural differences. I mean, you can see right away, these two code sets look totally different. And that new structure is the foundation for everything. So here's where it gets interesting. ICD-9 codes were short, right? 3 to 5 characters, mostly just numbers. But ICD-10 blows that out of the water. We're talking up to 7 characters, and they're alphanumeric, meaning they use both letters and numbers. This isn't just about making codes longer. It's about creating a language that's way more flexible and descriptive.
And this right here really shows you the sheer scale of the upgrade. We went from about 13,000 codes in ICD-9 to over 68,000 in ICD-10. That's not just an update, it's a revolution. It's like going from a basic little toolbox to a massive, fully stocked workshop. All of a sudden, we have the precise tool for almost any clinical scenario you can think of.
But here's the thing, it isn't just about having more codes. The real power, the real magic of ICD-10 is in what those new codes can actually do. It introduced some absolute game-changing concepts that let us tell a much, much richer patient story.
First up is laterality, and this one is a huge deal. For the first time ever, we could actually tell a payer if an injury was on the patient's right arm or their left leg. This was just completely missing from ICD-9, and it's absolutely crucial for proving medical necessity.
And then there's the episode of care, which is all about that 7th character in the code. It answers the question, is this the first time we're seeing the patient for this problem? Is it a follow-up, or are we treating a late effect from an old injury? That one character tells a huge part of the patient's journey. And let me tell you, if you forget to add it, that claim is getting denied. Instantly.
ICD-10 also gave us the X placeholder, and this was a really clever move. It's basically used as a spacer. It fills an empty spot in the code. Why? Well, it saves room so that new, more specific codes can be added in the future without having to redo the entire system. It's all about future-proofing. And finally, we have combination codes. See, back in the ICD-9 days, you'd need multiple codes for a condition and its related complication. With ICD-10, we can often use just one single, highly specific code that captures both. It's a massive improvement in both efficiency and accuracy.
Okay, so we've covered all the technical changes. Now, let's tie it all together and talk about what really matters for RCM professionals: getting claims paid and making sure the cash flow is healthy. And here's the bottom line. Every single feature we just talked about, the laterality, the 7th character, all of it, serves one primary purpose. It gives us the clinical specificity we need to justify medical necessity for the CPT codes we're billing. This is the core principle your AR team absolutely has to understand to win.
And when your team really nails ICD-10 specificity, the results are immediate. You start to see fewer of those basic, invalid diagnosis code denials. You have clear proof to fight those frustrating CO50 denials. You're way better prepared to pass payer audits, and as a bonus, you're helping to build better data on quality of care. It's a win all around.
So now that you really get the why behind ICD-10, let's talk about how you can use this knowledge to really advance your career. If you've got an interview coming up for any role in RCM, you're going to want to pay close attention to this next part.
You are almost guaranteed to be asked this question. And the most common answer you hear is, well, ICD-10 has more codes. And that's true, but it's not a great answer. If you really want to stand out from the crowd, you need something better.
That's it. That is the answer that lands the job. Why? Because it proves you don't just know what changed. It shows you understand why it matters to the business. You're connecting the clinical detail directly to the financial outcome and the modern world of value-based care.
So there you have it, the journey from ICD-9 to ICD-10. It is so much more than just a coding update. It's a fundamental shift in how we tell a patient's story. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. And let us know in the comments, what's the most challenging part of ICD-10 for your team? Thanks for watching.